So you want to know if you should buy Anthem. My God, how many times have I been asked that on my stream this past week? So many people want to know if they should buy this game, which is actually a good thing. It means a lot of people are interested in Anthem. And yes, I think it's a game worth being interested in. I've seen the reviews, and believe me, I respect so many of these people reviewing the game. Hell, even SkillUp has convinced me to buy games on the spot after watching a review of his. That's how good of a reviewer he is. And yeah, he just put out a review pretty much bashing Anthem. But also understand that the perspective that SkillUp gives is much different than my own. And that is because he has experienced Bioware in its glory days, whereas I have not. You see guys, when Mass Effect was hitting really hard, I was really busy in life. I had college going on, a full-time job. There was just a portion there of my life, I want to say about 3 to 4 years, where I just did not gain much. And I think everyone probably experiences that. And unfortunately, that time frame, I missed out on the Mass Effect series. So going into Anthem, I didn't really know much about Bioware outside of like Dragon Age. So I would say my slate was very clean coming into this game, which is why I think I like this game. You see guys, when Destiny 1 launched years ago, there were some people that immediately liked it. And I noticed that the people that liked it were like players that were like old COD players that were coming in and wanted to just pick up a looter for the first time. And they didn't understand why we hated Destiny 1 at launch, why we were so upset with the narrative and the storyline. And the reason why was because to us, Bungie of old was some of the best storytellers of all time. We were just coming off the high of Halo Reach. Noble 6 was our man, and we expected that level of storytelling inside of Destiny. I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't seen that level of storytelling in any of the DLCs. Nothing on that level. Forsaken kind of approached it, but outside of that, that is the closest that Bungie has ever gotten to like OG Bungie storytelling. Now Bioware, this is the same scenario except for I'm on the other side. I'm the player coming in without any experience with Bioware, never saw the narratives that they could pull off years ago, never saw the Mass Effect series or even before all that. I knew nothing about them, which is why coming into this game, I have enjoyed Anthem so much. So back to the question, should you buy this game? I've got 60 hours into this game. Coming from someone that has played pretty much nothing but looters for the past 4 or 5 years, Anthem fits what I desire. It fits what I seek. Constantly getting stronger, leveling up, grabbing that next set of items, perfecting builds. That has always been something I have loved about these games. And Anthem, in terms of in-game builds, has so many different options you can go for. And as far as the narrative goes, yes, the narrative, from what I've heard, is way worse than any other Bioware game. But comparing it to a game that we made here on the channel, which is Destiny, if I had to compare vanilla Destiny story to vanilla Anthem's is miles ahead of Destiny. But the selling point for me for Anthem, which is what's gonna keep you returning to this game, which is the only reason why you should buy this game, is in-game. What does in-game look like? What does everything north of 30-35 hours look like? There's so many different things to do that I find myself every single day always doing something different. Originally, I thought just like you. I thought, okay, we get 3 strongholds, one being just a mission. Come on, is that it? Is that the end game? I get to run 3 strikes over and over again. Turns out that's not the case at all. You can do strongholds, but there's a good chance you cannot even do them at the higher Grandmaster levels. Grandmaster 2 is the only one we can successfully do in a certain like time frame. Grandmaster 3 though is like crazy hard, and Strongholds also kick it up another level. So Strongholds in terms of Grandmaster levels are much higher than doing Grandmaster anywhere else. But Grandmaster Strongholds are like the last thing I do. I may finish the night off doing 1 Grandmaster 2 Stronghold just to finish the night off. For the most part, I'm constantly building reputation. I'm constantly doing legendary contracts. And every day you actually get 3 contracts from Fort Tarsus. And what's so beautiful about these contracts is, number 1, you're building up reputation with these factions around the base. And the reason why you're building up reputation is eventually you're going to obtain the Champion of Tarsus quest, which will then eventually, after many, like 3,000 contracts, you'll be able to obtain blueprints for all Masterwork components. And I think some other Masterwork stuff, I don't know. Now, given the fact that it's 3,000 contracts, I would assume we should get like the keys to the game, man. That's a lot of work, dude. But for me, I'm constantly doing legendary contracts. And the beautiful thing about legendary contracts, especially if you have a team with you, is only one of you has to pick that legendary contract up. And the rest of the team can now get the benefits of the double reputation gains from that legendary contract. And the beautiful thing about legendary contracts is that it always guarantees, at least now since yesterday's patch, a Masterwork at the end. So if you want a guaranteed 3 Masterworks every day, legendary contracts is where it's at. So wait around, get ready for reset time, boys, which is 7 o'clock Central for me every day, or 6 o'clock Central, and you'll be able to pick up those legendary contracts. But on the other side of things, I go into free play so much, whether it's just to go through and grab some chests so I can have some crafting embers and other materials, or it's just to tackle world events. All of these things has kept me engaged. And the moment I start feeling like I'm not being that engaged, the moment I feel like the game is getting a tad bit too easy, I just crank up the Grandmaster level. You want to take on a Grandmaster 3 Titan? Go right ahead, man. You want to talk about something that's going to keep you engaged for about 30-45 minutes. And that's not for everyone. Long gunfights between you and a boss or you and a group of ants might not be your thing. I didn't think it was my thing. I've been predominantly a PvP player with PvE on the side, but I've found enjoyment out of going in there and tackling a boss that takes me almost an hour to kill, to then turn around, perfect my build, find synergy between me and my teammates, go back in there and kill that boss within 10 minutes. There's a beautiful thing that occurs when you start to perfect your build and when you start seeing noticeable improvements such as that. So guys, should you buy this game? To me, the only reason why you would buy this game is for that reason and that reason alone. There's some bugs still present in the game. Thankfully, a lot of those were fixed yesterday in the patch, but there's going to be probably more and more bugs. And when they launch the seasonal event, which is like the Cataclysms there in March, I am going to assume we're going to have some bugs with that. With these live games, they just have bugs. And a lot of people are like, did they not playtest this? Well, when we were at the EA Game Changers event, we played it for like a week straight, guys. We didn't run into a single bug. Not one. I think the only bug we ran into was like a ranger able to like do infinite melees. That was it. And we reported that immediately. Other than that, I feel like all the bugs are all network related, which is unfortunate that the network team over at Bioware wasn't prepared better for this. So guys, that is my should you buy for this game. If you're just a huge fan of looters, if you like immersion, if you like flying, if you like seeing yourself progressively get better, then Anthem is the game for you. Now, if you're going into this game wanting to find a looter with the story elements that old Bioware games possess, and I don't really know how good like Mass Effect story was, but whenever I think of like great games in terms of narrative, like immediately I jump to like God of War, right? If you're looking for a God of War narrative experience inside of Anthem, you will be disappointed so badly. I would not buy this game for its story. It has story, but if you're purely looking for a story-driven game, Anthem is not that. It is a looter first. It definitely has put more time into its in-game and its builds. And now that they've actually fixed the chest exploit, where people were actually getting legendaries from chests, I would say the loot economy is no longer busted. That was my biggest concern with this being a primarily looter game, and that's what everything was being pointed towards, was you getting out there and obtaining the best build possible. My biggest concern was that the loot economy was going to be busted, and it was for like a day. So guys, those are my thoughts on Anthem. Like I said, I've got 60 hours in this game. No, I'm not getting paid. My God, it's like everyone has been hitting me up here lately. How much is EA paying you? Dude, these guys don't pay me. Are you kidding me? Why in the hell would they pay me if they haven't even done a dividend split in like 2 years? And some of you aren't even old enough to even know what that is. And that's all right. I just need you to know I'm not getting paid. Everybody is actually saying good things about Anthem are not getting paid. Maybe they just like the fact that this is a good looter. And that's what Anthem is. It's a good looter with some great in-game builds that I'm probably going to invest hundreds of more hours into. Now, before I let you guys go today, shout out to my Patreon supporters. Much love to you guys. I've had some of you on Patreon directly message me and ask me if they should buy Anthem. So hopefully this video has helped you guys. But thank you so much for your direct support here on the channel. Oh, and to my Destiny supporters, guys, there's only one Titan Moses inside of Destiny. You think I'm gonna be leaving that? Believe me, boys. Joker's Wild is around the corner. New Pinnacle Weapons is also around the corner. Your man Cross is gonna be all over that. So quit asking me why I quit Destiny. Dude, I'm Mormon when it comes to video games, folks, okay? Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.